3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brittany Tarwater. We are following some breaking news this afternoon out of Cocke County. A propane truck overturned in Cocke County, spilling propane onto the area there. Evacuation orders are in place for a 1-mile radius. We've been following this story since just before noon today. That is when the evacuation order went into place. If you live within 1 mile of the wreck here that happened at State Route 340 at Allen Chapel Road in Cocke County, everybody within 1 mile is being asked to evacuate. There is a shelter set up at Parrottsville Elementary School that is about a mile away from the wreck. So we've got a picture here that you can see. This is the scene of that wreck. And if you look out into the distance, we have been watching this pocket right here. And actually we don't see that anymore, but we were seeing some flames right around that area. Just off to your right, kind of around the bend behind the trees. We did see some flames not too long ago. Can't really make out if there are any there. Not sure what that was or what caused those flames. Oh, you can see them starting to spark up right there in that area that I was circling just before. Anyway, this is the scene of that wreck. Within a mile, people are asking that you evacuate for your safety. So if this puts a different perspective on what the area we're talking about is. So let me see if I can show you here. Dave, can they see the mouse? If I'm circling with my mouse, okay, you can see, thank you. You can see the mouse here that points out about the area where that wreck happened. And if I can drag this to give you a better idea of, this is about a mile right here, that white line that you see. So if you can envision drawing a circle right around the scene of that wreck, that's the area that we're talking about here. Pretty rural. We're looking at several different homes in that area, several back roads. This is everybody in this area here is in that evacuation zone. So emergency officials are asking if you are in that area, you live in that area, you know somebody, give them a heads up to evacuate to somewhere safe. Parrottsville Elementary School is set up as a shelter right now. That is an area where people can go to stay safe. I actually got off the phone with them not too long ago. They sounded really busy, as you can imagine. Not sure if students have been asked to go somewhere else or if students are staying in place there, but they did tell me that if you are subscribing to the app, meaning if you have a child or a grandchild who goes to that school, then you did likely get the alert that would tell you if you needed to either keep your child there or pick them up. So if you're in that school system, then you probably already know the plan in place for your child. There was a helicopter that was dispatched, a medical helicopter that was dispatched to the scene around noon today. We're told that that helicopter was sent there because of the driver. Not sure the injury status, if there are any, the driver of the truck that overturned. That is why that medical helicopter was dispatched. We also spoke with the sheriff, CJ Ball, in Cocke County, who told us that there are 2 deputies who were sent to the hospital for inhaling propane fumes. So we know at least 2 people, 2 deputies are hurt right now. They were sent to the hospital because they were inhaling propane fumes. Again, if you're just joining us, a propane truck traveling along this road. Now you can see, look at this here. This is what we're talking about. A propane truck overturned, spilling propane onto the road. Here is the area that we were watching for those flames. And it looks like those flames are a little bigger now than they were even just a few minutes ago. Of course, our crew can't get very close to this scene either. We want to make sure that they're staying safe, but giving you the closest picture that we can to make sure that you and your family are staying safe as well. Not sure why we're seeing these flames. If it's something that's more controlled, of course, we're going to make some phone calls and see if we can get any updates there. But as you can imagine, emergency crews are really, really busy with everything at hand, let alone responding to us. But that 1 mile radius of this area here in Cocke County is the area that's being asked to evacuate. We have been told by TDOT that they're expecting long-term lane closure. So we're keeping an eye on the traffic patterns there, letting you know when those lanes of traffic will be reopened. That information coming out just before noon today. Again, 2 people, at least 2 deputies are hurt, sent to the hospital for inhaling propane fumes. And you can see just by looking at the picture here, you can see ambulances that are on scene here. And it looks like there are 2 additional propane trucks that are behind those ambulances. So we're not sure if that is similar to the one that overturned. We're also trying to find out what company it was. We don't know the answer to that right now, but we'll work to get those answers for you. But we do see several emergency crews that are right here along this route, responding to the overturned propane truck. And one more time, showing you they are burning off the propane. Okay, so it does look like those flames are intentionally burning off the propane is what we're just told. Thank you, Dave, for getting that information. So this here, although that looks like it is pretty alarming, is intentional. Those flames are there just to burn off the propane, one step further to keeping people safe. But the evacuation orders are still in place. So they're still asking if you're in that area within 1 mile radius that you go somewhere else, go somewhere a little bit further away from the scene. So going back to the map here that can paint that picture just a little bit closer for you. This here, right in the middle, is the scene of that wreck. And this white line that we've drawn is about 1 mile. And we drew it here because that's Parrottsville Elementary School right there. That is where the emergency shelter is set up, and that just gives you a better picture of how far 1 mile is from the scene. So if you can envision, that would be about to roughly this spot right here. So everybody in this 1 mile radius is asked to evacuate just out of safety, because they want to make sure that you and your family are staying safe. Already 2 deputies from Cocke County, that's what Sheriff C.J. Ball is telling us, that 2 deputies have been sent to the hospital because of inhaling propane fumes. So want to make sure that they are well taken care of. Cocke County Sheriff's Office is asking that any emergency responders head to Parrottsville Fire Department for incident command. Then you'll get your orders from there. But those who need to evacuate, who have nowhere to go, most importantly, we want you to know that you can go to Parrottsville Elementary School, because that is within that distance that they're allowing people to go, and setting up a shelter for people who are in that area that they are asking to evacuate. So right now, it's about 1:40 right now. And this news came in just before noon. So right around 2 hours ago is when this wreck happened. That's when we were first told the news by TDOT that this propane truck has overturned, and they were asking people to evacuate. We are going to keep a close eye on what's happening here in this area. TDOT did originally tell us that this was going to be a long-term road closure, so we'll let you know, of course, when those roads open back up and when it's safe, when they've lifted those evacuation orders in that 1 mile radius of where this incident happened. Again, that was State Route 340 at Allen Chapel Road in Cocke County. Within 1 mile of that wreck, they're asking people to evacuate. We're going to wrap things up here. We do have a crew on the scene who is going to be able to give us reports tonight on WVLT News at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. We'll continue to follow this story all day long in your WVLT News app.